Helldivers, it looks like we had the Freedom's Flame, the premium Warbond. That trailer just dropped today. I'm going to go through it and kind of pick out everything that I think is interesting. I'll go ahead and say that if you are a fan of fighting the bots, I don't know how good anything in this Warbond is really going to be used against them because it's all fire based. And as we know, fire is much more effective against the bugs. But without further ado, if you like Helldivers content, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps small content creators, and let's get into the video. So the first thing to point out is the fact that we are getting more skins. We got these in the last Warbond as well, the Viper Commando. This time the theme is orange and black, kind of like that Scorch color. I guess this is their new thing going forward with Warbonds, is the paint schemes and stuff. I don't really know how to feel about them. It's not like I don't like them, but I will take it or leave it. They look fine, cool. I think the more of them we get, the better. But let's move on to the next interesting thing. And yes, more emotes and victory poses. These don't really affect gameplay too much, so like I don't really want to cover them. So, first exciting thing we have going on here is the new primary shotgun, the Cookout. This thing just looks like a, the Slug or the Punisher, so pump action, and it's shooting out incendiary rounds. It'll basically probably function like the Breaker does, except for, it's got that pump action instead. Now, will the damage be bumped up because it's not, burst fire or semi-automatic? We'll see. And this is the next very interesting thing. We are getting a primary proper flamethrower. The biggest question and the biggest thing to test with this thing is, how does it compare to the actual stratagem flamethrower? Because at the moment, that thing is probably the best stratagem versus the bugs. So is this thing going to be able to replace it? How are they going to balance it? Because you got to keep in mind too, there's all those stratagem upgrades at the ship that just completely buff fire damage. So obviously this is going to get that buff as well. So this thing's damage probably is going to be insane. And now this is also an interesting pick. The sidearm flamethrower. I don't know how I feel about this one, honestly. I mean, it looks cool. It cooks. The canister is probably not going to be very large, and having both the flamethrower and this is might be a little redundant. Think about just having like the stratagem flamethrower, the primary flamethrower, the secondary flamethrower. I don't know how many flamethrowers you need to hold, but I guess 3 right now is a magic number. That would just I almost want to make a build around it eventually, just because of how ridiculous it is. But let's keep moving. So actually, nope, that's the whole trailer basically. So it looks like we're getting 2 primary weapons this time and a secondary. I didn't see a grenade this time around, which makes sense because we already have like 2 fire grenades. So I don't know what they'd really add there. It really seems like they're trying to stick to a theme, which is, I prefer that over kind of the randomness we were getting in those first couple Warbonds. Now it is coming out August 8th. That is when the big content escalation of freedom comes out. I speculated on this in the build video I have coming out later this week, so you're probably going to hear that again, and it turns out, yeah, that's the case, because that update is free, and obviously they want to monetize it, so this is how they're going to do it. So yeah, Helldivers, what do you think about just more fire stuff? I'm pretty excited about it. The flamethrower is one of my favorite weapons against the bugs in general, so having more options and variations, because you compare the primary flamethrower, if it's good, and hopefully it cooks chargers still, because that's the biggest draw for me, at least, when it comes to using the flamethrower. So if the primary flamethrower can do that, and then you can free up that stratagem weapon slot with something explosive or something to take out Bile Titans really easily, that's gonna be something interesting to look at. So excited about this one. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you later this week with another build that has nothing to do with fire, thankfully. So see you then.